Hello, my little draconic wolfkins. I hope that you're all doing well. If you guys like what you see and hear, please like, subscribe, and turn on that bell to get notified. And if you guys want to send me your own horror stories, my email and my Reddit thread will be in the description below. So, let's get started. I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Henry. Hi, Henry. I had just finished school in the spring and headed home to northern Maine. Oh, northern Maine. Okay, so were you in southern Maine then? Or were you like in a different, um, I don't know, different state? Anyways, the plan was to stay at home through the winter and head west in the springtime. Okay, okay. My mom and dad were over the moon at the idea of me staying. I mean, yeah, that has its effect on people. My old room, the familiar smell of breakfast in the mornings, was comforting. I'd forgotten how much I missed home. You know what? That is fair. That is completely fucking fair. I'm not gonna lie. Over breakfast, I asked my dad if he knew any potential leads for a summer job. Something to keep me busy. He chuckled. I actually do. My friend owns a house up in the mountains. He told me he's been struggling to find a housekeeper. Watching over some big place in the hills sounds right up your alley. Ooh, okay. I like the sound of that, honestly. Because that sounds like a fun job, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. Being a housekeeper, just watching over a massive place, have, making, I don't know, I hope decent, a decent wage, you know? I really like the sound of that. With my dad's friend's number written down, I finished breakfast and prepared my pitch, though I wouldn't really need it after all. that's that's how it be sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm gonna make my pitch, I'm gonna go sell myself and hope it sticks. Then it's just like, oh shit, all that work and I didn't even need it. What a waste of fucking time. Okay, maybe it's not a waste of fucking time, but you get the point. The guy's name was Derek, and he was surprisingly easygoing. He practically offered me the job before I even had a chance to ask. Oh, Arthur's son? I heard you just came back from school. Yes, sir. Well, if you haven't found any work for the summer, I need a house sitter real bad. Would you be interested? Yes, of course. He gave me the address and told me to meet him on Sunday to go over the details. Honestly, that seemed to be really, really quick. Sketchy, honestly, but at the same time, I really don't know, like, the situation. So, I could be reading way too much into it, or reading not enough into the situation, depending on how the story goes. The rest of their week was calm. I helped my mom around the house, went fishing with my dad one afternoon, and caught up with some friends Friday night. Everything felt right, grounded, like life had finally slowed down. I, That's how it goes sometimes. Until life decides we're like, fuck you, bitch. You know? Sunday came before I knew it, and I headed up to the winding mountain road to Derek's address. The pavement eventually turned to gravel, and the air grew thin and cold beneath the canopy of pines. It never ceases to amaze me how thick and alive the forest feels up here. I am sure it feels super thick and alive up in the woods, especially like upstate Maine, New York, and even Michigan feels just completely different from anything. Well, then again, being in the woods, regardless of state, feels different. Anyways, when I arrived, I was almost shocked by the size of the home. Was it that big? The garage alone was as big as my parents' house. Holy shit, yeah, it's a house. A mansion. One of the bay doors was open and Derek stepped out to meet me as I pulled in. He was an older gentleman with salt and pepper hair and a dark royal purple jumpsuit trimmed with gold. Oh, okay, so he's rich. Like, rich, rich. Got it. He extended a firm, cold hand, and I shook it. Then we started talking right there in the driveway. Derek explained that he had come up 2 weekends a month. He showed me around the property, listed my responsibilities, and spoke in a faint, oddly romantic Euro accent I couldn't quite place. Ooh, okay. I mean, I'm still kind of weirded out by this story, but I guess we'll see where this goes, you know? I was looking after the property, keep it clean, and make sure it stayed welcomed. Or, what do you mean by, like, stayed welcoming? And, like, the stayed welcome is in quotations, by the way. When he offered $800 a week? Holy shit. Hell fucking yeah. I would be so down. I would make sure that whole place is fucking spotless. I accepted before he could change his mind. Yeah, I would too, honestly, OP, like, my guy. This guy must be loaded. More than pleased with how it went, I rushed home to pack. My mother shared in my excitement. She said it sounded like something out of a movie, getting to live in a mansion all summer. I could tell she was sad I wouldn't be staying home, but I promised she and Dad could visit one weekend. You guys can crash in one of the 6 bedrooms. 6 guest bedrooms? Holy fucking shit! Of course, like, he said this jokingly. Over dinner, my dad told me more about Derek, how he owned a few hospitals and how incredibly wealthy he is. Yeah, I mean, if he owns a fucking mansion with 6 bedrooms, or 6 guest bedrooms, like, the dude is loaded. The next morning, I drove back up to the house, following Derek's handwritten instructions to unlock the gate and enter the security code. I stepped inside and took in the grand entryway. Marble floors, dark woods, sunlight catching on every polished surface. I unpacked my things. If I was going to be there for 2 weeks, I wanted it to feel like home. I mean, yeah, you might as well make yourself feel at home, you know? Wandering the property, I noticed the neighboring house was for the first time. It was strange. Like I hadn't seen it before, as if my eyes had been fixed on Derek's mansion. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. You're like focused on the task at hand, that you're not really, I don't know, looking at things around you until you're actually sitting down and looking at things. The other house was nearly as large, but ancient and crumbling, windows scattered and missing, with holes in the steep clay tilted roof. I felt an odd pull towards it, an attraction I couldn't explain. I wanted to see inside. Oh, so this place is abandoned! Woo! I would not mind going into a abandoned place to look around. You know, like to take pictures, videos, all of that, just because that just seems super fun, you know? Circling the yard, I caught sight of a parked car behind the house, an old Volkswagen Beetle. Okay, ominous. Though whether it wasn't abandoned. Okay, even more ominous, and I don't like this. Yeah, I don't like this. No. The tires were firm, the grass freshly trimmed beneath it. Someone lived there, or at least someone was there right now. With that realization, I snapped out of whatever trance I had been in. I must have looked strange standing there staring. I hoped no one had seen me. I mean, I doubt it, but it's possible. I'm not gonna lie. The night after dinner, I sat at my computer. I'm a bit of a night owl, so I stayed up later than I should have. That's when I saw him. As I passed one of the tall windows, something caught my eye. A faint orange glow of a cigarette burning in the dark. I froze. Oh, hell fucking no. Hell fucking no. I would be closing all the curtains, locking every door, every window, and just be like, mm-mm, mm-mm. Out of the edge of the property, a man stood smoking, perfectly still, facing the house. Fear rose in me suddenly and primal. I felt exposed, lit up like a stage actor behind glass. I couldn't move. The glow of his cigarette was steady, unwavering, and the moonlight caught the pale of his face just enough to make it worse. No. No. Oh, hell fucking no. See, like, this is when you need, like, a firearm or something. I'm just saying. Then, as suddenly as I noticed him, he turned away and walked away, slowly and deliberately, before vanishing into the tree line. I exhaled, embarrassed of how fast my heart was racing. It was late. The neighbor was just having a smoke outside. Nothing strange about that. Um, no, no, that's pretty fucking strange. I'm not gonna lie. Just be like, no, no. I turned off a few lights so I could see more clearly into the dark. The neighboring house was pitch black. Then, out of nowhere, headlights from the Volkswagen flickered on, cutting across the yard. The car drifted down the gravel road, smooth as if it were gliding on glass. Oh, hell fucking no. 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 I didn't sleep well that night. Just before dawn, exhaustion finally took me. In my hazy half dream, I could almost swear I smelled cigarette smoke. When I woke up this morning, I tried my best to put on a tough face and mark up the previous night to paranoia. I mean, yeah, but I would still be cautious, you know? What would my family think if I bolted back home after only one night? It was going to take more than a creepy neighbor to scare me away. I mean, yeah, that's true. That night, I barricaded myself in my second-story room, blinds closed, only dimly lit with the ornate lamp on the corner. I told myself I wouldn't look outside again, no matter what. Dude, I would be so paranoid and I would just look around, you know? Around midnight, I noticed a sound, soft, rhythmic, like tapping. I debated whether it was new or if I was only just now noticing it. My heart thudded as I traced the noise to the window. I held my breath and eased my finger towards the curtain. Although a thin slit of the fabric, I saw it, the faint orange tip of a cigarette floating just beyond the glass, too close, too steady, and eye level with me on the second story. What the fuck? Oh no. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, man. A bolt of fear shot through me. I stumbled back and hit my head hard against the dresser, dancing on the edge of consciousness for a few moments. When I came to, the tapping was faster, almost frantic, and then suddenly it stopped. It's been about an hour now. I'm writing all this down because I can smell smoke again. It's stronger this time. The air feels heavy. In the distance, I can almost hear a wet pull of breath, slow and hollow like lungs that haven't drawn air in centuries. The smell's stronger now, smoke drifting from down the hall, up through the floorboards into my brain. I think I finally understand what Derek meant when he said he needed a house sitter real bad. He didn't need someone to watch the house. He needed bait. Oh, hell fucking nah, man. No. Like, fuck that, man. I would be like, nope, sorry, Derek. Not today. I'm not doing it. You're gonna have to find a new person to do this. You know? I'm just saying. Just nuh-uh. Not me. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.